Welcome, everybody. We are here to make some characters for the Sins of the Father RPG. So, with me, I have three of my friends, Nick and Wendy and Danny. Three of my favorite people on Facebook, because those are the three people who said yes to coming and recording this video. Amongst other reasons. But today, this is why they're my favorite people. So Sins of the Father, just to give you a kind of a glimpse into the setting, is somehow our families have sold their souls to some higher being, and we are the latest in the descendants. So we have now come of age, and it is now our responsibility to begin working for whatever that entity is. We call it the Dark Lord in this game. But we actually get to define what our Dark Lord is specifically. That's at the end of the creation process. So, to begin, where's my copy? This is Sins of the Father, just in case you haven't seen what the cover looks like. So to start, the first thing that we do is we're going to pick our primary sin. Now, the sins in this game go along the lines of the 7 deadly sins. You know, I'm pretty simplistic with my game design. So something familiar for everybody. So out of the 7 deadly sins are pride, lust, gluttony, avarice, wrath, and envy. So to decide what you will have, you will draw 2 cards, and you will choose which of those 2 cards you want to choose for your primary sin, or your primary sin. So I drew a 3, which is envy, and I drew a 6, which is avarice. So I can pick either envy or avarice for my character.
And for us non-theology majors, can you quickly tell us what avarice is?
Sure, avarice is greed.
Greed, okay, thank you.
Yes. I went with I didn't want to have 2 words that started with G.
Okay.
So yeah, avarice.
It's those little details. It's those little details that help, I think. You know, it really is. I'm being honest there. It's the little details, like making sure they're so distinct from each other.
Exactly. So what did everybody else draw?
I have a 4 and a 6.
So 4 and a 6, that's either wrath or avarice.
I'm going wrath all the way, baby.
Wrath all the way for Wendy.
And a 10. So ace or joker is player's choice. So I could pick whatever I wanted. Or lust.
So lust or whatever.
Whatever.
What about you, Nick?
I got Queen of Hearts and a 3.
So a queen is pride and a 3 is envy.
Let's go with pride.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and go with envy then. I was waiting to see, because I wanted envy, but I was waiting to see if anybody else picked envy, and then I would have picked my other one instead.
So we have envy, pride. And what did you pick, Wendy?
Wrath.
Ooh, that's a good one. That's a good one. Mm-hmm.
I really appreciate how you made, if you don't want to draw a card, you can just be sloth.
Yes.
Because your ways, it totally makes sense.
Yes, if you just don't feel like even bothering, you're just sloth. Anybody can be sloth at any time.
I think I'm going with lust.
Awesome.
Lust.
Lust is also a very good one. All right, so that's the first thing. And what you will see is sinful gifts. So the first thing that you get by choosing your primary sin is you get your starting sinful gift. So for instance, you picked lust, Danny.
Mm-hmm.
And that means that whenever you are attempting to use your sexuality, your chosen card gets a raise of +2.
Woot. I'm irresistible.
Pride, which is Nick, you end up, whenever you are attempting to use your status to your advantage, you get a +1 bonus. And a raise and a bonus are 2 different things, just so you know. A raise increases the value of the card that you pick, and a bonus means you get to draw additional cards. So they're slightly different there. Wrath. Where's Wrath? There it is. Wrath gets Knuckles, and it's whenever you're attempting to do harm, your chosen card gets a raise of +2.
All right.
And then I get Envies, which is whenever I am attempting to take something from somebody, I get a +1 bonus. So +1 bonus to take. That's all I need to write down. So, so there's that. So that's our first thing right there. We already got. That's step 1. It's done, guys. That's amazing. Good job.
All right.
All right. So now, step 2 is we're going to figure out what our traits are and our attachments. Traits are personality traits or personality quirks that our character will have. These are all generated randomly, which I love. So you're going to do this process twice. So you're going to draw 2 cards, figure out what those 2 cards are, and then pick which one you want. And then you'll draw 2 more cards and do the same. Okay. So let's just go around and we'll each do one and then we'll each do another. I think that would be good. So who wants to start us off?
Just a quick question. You want us to shuffle the 2 we already picked back into?
No, you leave those out.
Leave those out. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So I have King of Diamonds and 4 of Spades.
So the King of Diamonds is Proud, and the 4 of Spades is Breezy.
Ooh, gosh.
So which one of those are you thinking for your character?
I like Proud. I'm going to go Proud.
Okay. And because you picked a diamond card, that's going to give you 1 in your influence attachment.
Okay, perfect.
All right, so we have Wendy's first one. Nick, you want to go next?
Yes, I got diamonds 6 and 7.
Oh, you got 2 diamonds. Okay, so it's either frugal or stoic.
So I choose just one.
You'll choose one of them.
Let's go with frugal.
Okay. And because it's a diamond, you'll get 1 in your influence as well. Danny?
I got a Jack of Hearts, which is sentimental. And 6 of Diamonds as well, so stoic. I think since my primary thing is lust here, I'm going to go ahead and go with the sentimental.
There you go.
She gets very, very attached.
And then because it's a heart card, you're going to get 1 in passion.
Which makes total sense.
Exactly. I drew King of Clubs and Ace of Clubs. So both of my high cards right next to each other.
Wow.
So that either gives me optimistic or gallant. I will take optimistic. I don't know. I'll take optimistic. It works.
Your soul's not yours, but hey, you're optimistic about the whole thing.
I mean, it could be mine later. You never know. All right. So, Wendy, your second one.
All right. I have 5 of Spades and 3 of Clubs.
All right. So 5 of Spades, which is nihilistic,
Cool.
or 3 of Clubs, which is aggressive.
I got to go aggressive.
There you go. So that's going to bump your chaos up by 1.
All right.
So there you go.
Perfect.
Although I think nihilistic would be interesting too, but
I'm just taking the straightforward violence path here, Eloy.
Hey, it fits. It fits. All right, Nick, what do you got?
I've got 2 of diamonds and 9 of clubs.
So a 2 of diamonds is vacuous, and what was the other one?
9 of clubs.
And a 9 of clubs is clumsy.
No, what's that? Yeah, vacuous it is.
Okay.
Sorry. What was your first trait? What was your first one?
The very first one was frugal.
So frugal and vacuous.
Vacuous. Okay. Nice.
It's hard to be proud and clumsy, though, I think.
Oh, true. So true.
So I got 4 clubs. And
4 clubs, so breezy.
And 6 of spades, which is dull. She's sentimental but dull, I guess. Nah, I think I'm actually gonna go with breezy. I think
you're gonna go with breezy.
Yeah, I think that makes more sense.
All right, and that's gonna bump up your chaos. I forgot to say that for you, Nick, because you picked. Which one did you pick? You picked. You had frugal and
vacuous.
And vacuous, and in vacuous was also a diamond. So you end up with 2 in your influence.
2 in influence. Okay.
Right, because both of your cards were diamond cards.
Okay.
So, and then I'm going to pick my 2, and I have a 5 of clubs, which is tactless, and I have a 6 of diamonds, which is stoic. I'm going to go with tactless. That's my favorite one.
You're optimistic but tactless. I like that. You're like, well, you're not that bright, but it's okay. You don't know what's going on and how bad it is. It's fine.
And that actually gives me 2 in my chaos. So that's pretty cool. All right. So we're done with traits. That was traits, guys. Woohoo! So now just to kind of tell you what chaos and what the chaos, darkness, influence, passion, what those attachments are, is anytime you draw a card, if it matches one of those suits, you get a raise by whatever your attachment is. So any of my club cards will be raised by +2. So if I pull a 2, it's actually a 4. Or if I pull a 6, it's actually an 8. But any of my other cards, they just stay whatever they are, because I only have the +2 in the one thing. So there's that. All right, so attachments are done. The next thing is relationships. So this is fun. So everybody gets to have one relationship with. So everybody gets 4 relationships to start. You're gonna have 2 with people in the group, and you're gonna have 2 outside ones. All right. So so the way that this works is that whoever you choose. You usually just do it with whoever you're at the table with. So you have a relationship to the person to your left and the person to your right. In my opinion, since I'm looking here at my screen, Dannie would be to my left, and then Wendy would be to my right. And then each of you guys would then have one with, so it would be like around like that. So, so I'm going to do Wendy and Dannie. Dannie is going to have me and Nick. Wendy will have me and Nick. Nick, you'll have Wendy and Dannie. So it'll go around like that. So it's a lot easier when you're doing it in person. But so the way that it works is when you're choosing your relationship, each of us draws 1 card, and then we choose between the 2 cards which one we like best for our relationship. So let me start off with Dannie, for instance. So me and Dannie will do our relationship first. Okay. So I drew a 5 of diamonds. What did you draw?
I drew a king.
Okay, so she has a king of hearts. So it's either, the king means it's a mentor apprenticeship, and a 5 means we're rivals. So I like us being rivals. But,
I actually do too.
but the suit matters here too. So the suit matters in this case. So if it's a 5 of diamonds, that means that we're rivals, but we have a controlling relationship, which would mean one of us has power over the other.
Ooh.
If we went with the other, the King of Hearts, that would be a mentor apprenticeship, but that would be an intimate relationship, which would mean that we're very close to each other, which kind of doesn't, I'm not sure, I don't know. I kind of dig the rivals still, I don't know.
I do too. I think it's kind of this, yeah, I kind of like that. Okay,
so I'm going to write down that we have in, what is it, controlling.
Rivals, controlling.
Exactly. So rivals.
And it was diamonds,
and
right?
Yes. It was the diamonds. Well, that's what made it controlling.
Right.
All right, so now, Danny, you and Nick, you can do your relationship, and we'll just go around.
Okay.
I've got the 3 of clubs.
I actually drew a Joker.
Okay, so a Joker. Okay, so a 3 of clubs, which would mean that you guys are just kind of friends of friends. You guys, you know who each other are, but you guys aren't close or anything. And clubs means that you have a hostile relationship. All right, but a Joker, what a Joker means in this case, because of course she would draw a Joker and complicate everything, is you draw 2 additional cards and then make your choice.
Just Danny or both of us?
Just her, because she has the Joker.
Okay. I got a 3 of hearts and an ace.
So technically now you have 3 choices instead of 2 because she drew a Joker. So you have either hostile friend of a friend. Yep. You said you have that's a hostile player's choice hostile, or what's your other one? It's a 3 of hearts, which would be an intimate friend of a friend. So those are your choices. A hostile anything or friend of a friend, hostile or intimate.
What's good for hostile?
Extended family would be good for hostile.
True.
Okay.
Okay. So we're like cousins or something.
Right.
And we're hostile. Okay.
I like that. So extended family, hostile, extended family. I like it.
All right, so is that Nick and I?
Yes, so now it's going to be Nick and Wendy.
Perfect.
Okay.
I have a 9 of hearts, so that is enemies who are intimate.
Okay.
And I have 3 of hearts. And that's a friend of a friend that's intimate. So those are our choices. Intimacy or intimacy.
Something is really wanting you to be a friend of someone.
Seriously.
What are you feeling?
Well, let's see.
We do enemies who are intimate. That could also be like almost exes or something. It looks like exes is a different category, but we could kind of be in that same vein.
It could be that. It could be a Batman Catwoman thing. Enemies intimate.
Oh.
So, yeah, I think that'd be neat. Enemies intimate.
I love that. That's awesome.
Okay.
All right, and then you and I.
And then yes, you and I.
Okay.
All right.
8 of clubs here. So that's family. That is, let's see, hostile.
All right. So you have hostile family, and I have hostile coworkers. So we're definitely going to be hostile. So just so let me write down hostile. So hostile, but it's either family or coworkers. I kind of like being family because then it makes me and you related, and then Nick and Danny are related, and then but you guys are enemies. So and we two are rivals. So it's like it's me and Wendy against Nick and Danny.
Yeah, it's like rival. Yeah, like feuding families or whatever.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I like that so much.
That's cool.
Like half siblings.
I'm cool with half or whatever.
What are you thinking?
I was just thinking I was thinking straight up siblings. We could just do siblings. Okay. Yeah. Just do straight up siblings.
Yeah. All right.
So, but we don't like each other for some reason.
Yes.
We don't know yet why. So now we're like rival families, almost like the Hatfields and McCoys. So whoever our like Dark Lord is, like the 4 of us are like we're always like in competition to get the favor of I like this. I like this so much. It's working out very nicely.
Yes. The Dark Lords are definitely going to play us off one another. And
for sure. Yeah.
Exactly.
For sure.
And then basically you do that same process. You draw 2 cards and you pick one for your 2 outside relationships. And these are characters that you'll be able to bring in as we play. So I have two. I have Mysterious Stranger Controlling and Mysterious Stranger Hostile. I will do a Controlling Mysterious Stranger. I like that. And then I will also do, let me see here. I have Devious Family. So I have somebody else in our family that I work with. That we do, and we scheme together. Love it.
Okay. Trying to look here.
So while you guys are figuring out your other two relationships, I'll go ahead and explain what the different types of relationships are. Basically, if you have a controlling relationship with another person, this means that it's one where one person has control over the other. It's not always a literal master-slave thing, but it's basically reflected in one's willingness to do something for the other. So it could be like Han and Chewie, where, Chewie feels like, Chewie would be the one being controlled because he has the life debt, if you really wanted to go, Star Wars with it. So, and what that means is that at any point, whoever has the controlling power over the other can tell that person what to do, and then if they do it, then they get to shuffle some of their cards back into their deck. So it's fun.
So I think that's cool because that kind of creates a benefit for like really playing off the relationships you have with the other characters. There's reason to do it.
Exactly. Devious relationships means that both parties have done terrible things together. And basically they like to scheme and do stuff like that. And anytime that you bring a character in that you have that relationship with, you can get either a +1 darkness or a +1 influence for the scene. So hostile is basically, the other person is a limitless source of personal conflict. So you hate each other for some reason, and you can take either a +1 passion or +1 chaos during a scene that involves that relationship. Intimate relationships are basically, usually for Hellborn, it's usually physically, it's usually a physical intimacy, but it can count as other things as well. I know some people don't like to take it to the incestual lane, but these are, demon worshipping people, so it can go that route. But basically, in a scene where you use that, where you have an intimate moment with the person you have an intimate relationship with, you can heal an extra wound. So it helps. So I ended up with 2 controlling relationships, a hostile relationship, and a devious relationship. So I'm going to say that my Mysterious Stranger actually has control over me, and I'm going to say that somebody's blackmailing me for some reason. And I don't know who it is, but they get me to do things by sending me messages, and I don't know who they are.
But they know things.
But they know things that I've done, probably with my devious family member, because we've done terrible things together. So, so they probably know what I've been doing.
Nice. I got, I'm going to go with, I have a Jack of Spades, which is Devious Soulmates.
There you go.
Oh.
Yeah, so I have a soulmate we've done terrible things together, my soulmate and I. Terrible things. And now, is it pick 2 and then pick 1 and then do it again, or just pick the 2? Okay, so I'm going to go with that one. There we go.
Because it's all about kind of making those tough choices, and every choice that you make is getting rid of those other cards that are on the top of your deck. So these are no longer available as options for the choices that come up further.
I ended up with a devious lover and a controlling best friend.
Okay.
So,
Awesome.
And the +1 influence or darkness is with the devious relationship. What is it with the controlling?
Controlling means that either you have control over them, and if you do that, then basically you have an NPC that you can have go do something, or you can be the one that's controlled, and if you do what they tell you to do, then and the person that it would be the soul master who would be the one in control of your relationship, and they would be the one to figure out what they're going to ask you to do. And then if you did it, then you'd be able to shuffle some cards. Because that's actually a really important thing in this game is every time you use your cards, you've lost those cards. And if you end up at the bottom of your deck, then that's bad.
Yeah, I think then, yeah, I think henchman is the way to go with this one.
So you're gonna have the henchman, okay? Right,
because I'm pride, and I mean, it's not everyone's got to be under me. So
it makes sense to me. Yeah. So basically, the extra that you have, you choose one of the skills, and it has level 3 in that skill. So what do you want them to be really good at? So if it's like your bodyguard, you want them to be really good at fight. If it was like, you know, your C3PO, you'd want it to be really high in know, stuff like that.
Okay. Yeah, let's make him really good in. Oh, let's make him really good in sneak.
Okay. So you have like a
spy,
like a personal spy. I love it. All right, Wendy, what did you get?
All right, I got 8 of diamonds. So I'm going to go with that. That is devious lovers as well.
Okay.
So I love the fact that
what if
I have a devious lover.
What if it's the same devious lover between the two of you?
I think it should be.
I love it. I love it.
I think that's
why I had to laugh when you said that, Nick. I was like, oh man. So. And the fact that we're intimate enemies, I feel like we've ended up in some really interesting positions. Let's say.
Well, I could see that third person being kind of like the liaison between the two of you. Like the reason that you even talk at all is because of this person you know in common.
Oh, we know that I'm in the biblicals. Oh, good times.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And
when she said she was like, yeah, we've been in strange positions, I was going to be like, literally and figuratively, probably.
Well, see, I just took it figuratively. I didn't even think about it literally.
You've ended up in some strange positions, I'm sure. Anyway.
What was your other one, Danny, before we get to Wendy's second one?
My other one is hostile family.
Okay.
Yeah, my other one is hostile family. So I have a family member outside that's pretty hostile.
Awesome.
So, yeah.
And what about you, Wendy? What's your second one?
So I drew the Joker, so I ended up pulling a bunch of cards and ended up with the Ace of Diamonds. So I went ahead and did a controlling rival. And okay. I think that in that situation, I worked for or was partners with this other person in a business kind of relationship. And they used me as their knee breaker because of my wrath. Yeah. So they call on me to do all that dirty work for them.
So are we possibly the mob then?
I think we could be the mob.
Is that like what our family is? Are we like battling mob families that I think we've just figured this out now. I think we figured out our setting now. I think we're rival mob families now. I like it.
That makes sense.
I like it. So I'm going to say my devious family member is, I think that he is actually he or she, I haven't really decided yet, but I'm going to go ahead and say it's he. So he wants to move higher up. So the two of us have been scheming in the family to kind of take out some of the people that have more seniority. So that's our deviousness, where we've been trying to kill some of the people who are in our way.
And that's why we're rivals, because we both want to be the Don.
Exactly. Well, so who wants to be the Don? Oh, both of you guys want to be the Don.
Oh, no, you and me, I think.
No, me and you aren't rivals. Me and you are just hostile.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Hostile siblings, right.
Yeah, we're just hostile siblings. We just don't like each other for some reason. Maybe because you got chosen to be kind of the apprentice to our father, who is the Don. And I'm kind of like the leftover scraps. Like, I don't get to do it. Like, I don't get all the perks. You were first born.
You're like Fredo.
I am frickin' Fredo, exactly.
Perfectly to your envious nature.
Oh gosh. All right. So you're the Don, you're the heir. I'm gonna say you're the heir.
Okay.
And I hate you for it.
Perfect.
All right. So I figured out two of those, and then I have the blackmailer, so I don't really need to define that one yet. So then I just need to. So I think maybe Dannie and Nick need to kind of define their side of it, and then I'll be able to define more of me and Danny's relationship, I think, then at that point.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So what did you guys end up being?
We are
Hostile
hostile extended family.
So you guys don't like each other either. Jeez.
No. Nobody here likes each other.
Nobody likes each other.
Nobody likes each other. Come on now. Yeah, okay.
Well, I think that if we're going with the whole mob scene, or all you guys are in one mob family, if Dannie is in my extended family, maybe not instead of cousins, like we're married into the family, something like that. And
okay.
The hostility could come from two different ways of running the business or making the money. Maybe I do something that she thinks is dishonorable or isn't the way the family should be doing things like that.
Okay.
Well, let's see. So you have you have what? Proud and vacuous, right?
Yes.
So you're very proud, but you're not really cognizant of the repercussions of the things that you do.
Mm-hmm.
So, what were your two, Dannie?
I have alluring. Oh no, that's my. I have sentimental and breezy.
Okay. So you could do it like business wise. So like, let's say like Nick is like running down like families and like putting people out on the street to make the money. And because you're sentimental, you're like, but they have children.
Yeah.
Come on.
Like, that's not like, it's not part of the code. Like, we have to have a code. Like, we're the mob, but we have a code, right? Like,
I like that.
It's not just kicking people out or whatever, and she's kind of breezy too. So she would much rather, try to talk things out or whatever rather than, strong arm people and do stuff.
It's like, but they didn't
that.
pay. Who cares?
Yeah. Whatever. They know they owe us now and we can get more out of them. You know what I mean? Because they know we owe, and if we let it go, then they're more likely to do stuff for us later rather than,
Awesome. So your guys is more of a disagreement on how to do things,
Mm.
So then,
And we
so-
probably override each other too, like undermine each other, you know, like going behind people's backs and like going behind each other's backs and doing things our way. And then the other person finds out about it and they're like, "Are you kidding?" You know, like yeah.
So are we doing? So do you guys do like extortion rackets? Is that what you guys are doing?
I think so. Probably that sounds about right.
So I'm going to say that the neighborhood that you were put in charge of, I was also put in charge of taking over that neighborhood, and that's why we're rivals.
Oh, yes. And you're not doing so good at it, I don't think.
I'm probably not doing well, but it's okay because I have I'm tactless, so I'm just walking in. Hey, where's the money? Give me the money.
Oh,
Yeah.
Didn't you say someone's blackmailing you?
Yes, and somebody is blackmailing me, so I don't even know. I don't even know who that is, so we'll have to figure that out.
Oh, well, I do have a personal spy, so maybe the fact that we're rivals and I have a spy and you're being blackmailed might mean that I'm the one who's actually blackmailing.
It may not be you specifically, because I don't have a direct relationship with you, but it could be your spy. It could actually be your spy who's doing it.
Operating on his own accord. That's great.
Yeah.
Exactly.
The spy has aspirations. Like,
right, he's playing both sides. Like,
oh,
on this,
Ooh, I like it.
or pony up the cash.
All right. So then I have my 4 relationships kind of defined, and I think we have a good idea for our scenario, our setting here. Does everybody have their 4 relationships defined?
Yeah.
Are we good?
we talked about extended family with Nick and how we're rivals,
Right.
and devious soulmates. I think that's just, you know, maybe somebody from, you know, outside of it or whatever.
Well, Nick had said something about you being married into the family.
Yeah, it's true.
So maybe
So
there's somebody.
Yeah.
Maybe there's somebody who you actually are in love with, but you're not allowed to marry them because
that's good.
they're like,
Good.
I don't know, a race that's not allowed to join the mafia. I don't know. Let's make it. Let's make it a racial thing. Because if we're gonna go like mafia family, then we're probably like what, like in the 30s.
So then
or
maybe
something?
my hostile with the family member is like my parent, who is the one that's preventing me
Boom
from
you've done
doing that.
Exactly.
Because my other one is hostile family, so it's like my mom or my dad, who's like, you know, probably my mom, because yeah, they probably tend to. They
All
tend
right. Well, we have Dannie done.
Awesome.
All right. Well, I'm really feeling good about this so far.
Wait, I have a question. Wendy,
Yes.
did you decide whether our mutual lover is a man or a woman?
I had the same question.
Well, we technically haven't decided whether you guys are playing male or female characters. Like, it all matters in the end, you know? So I guess now is as good a time as any to decide that.
Right? All right, Wendy, you go first.
Oh, I normally gender bend. I normally play a man, so I'd be fine if we're rivals over a woman, if that's how you want to play it.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. We can. Okay, that works for me too. All right. So there's some. So this. We both got devious lover, right? So she'll
Yes.
be both of our devious lovers.
Yes.
Wow. Okay. All right.
What's her name?
Veronica.
Veronica.
What if she's like one of those like prostitutes with the heart of gold? Like that's why you guys both know her, because you guys both frequent the same kind of red light district.
I was kind of thinking that she was straight-laced, like a bank teller Or
Okay.
It's kind of good. And what if she lives in the neighborhood we're trying to control together?
Oh, I like it. Yeah.
Like if Eloy and I were trying to like have this neighborhood and she like lives in that neighborhood or like works there or something, and that's how she's kind of like cross paths with the families and stuff.
I dig it.
that makes
All right,
sense.
but she's straight-laced, but also devious.
I think that deviousness is from our influence.
Oh, we're both corrupting her.
Like if she's a bank teller, like you guys have taught her how to like, you know, embezzle money from the bank.
She's laundering all my money for me.
Exactly. She's laundering your money, and she has.
Yeah.
Oh God, that's beautiful. Yes, that's exactly it. She is the bank teller who launders your guys' money for you. Since we're rival families, she just works with everybody.
Right.
You know what,
Wow.
Danny? We actually didn't define what was controlling about our relationship. Because one of us has to have power over the other.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, I actually was just looking at that.
Well, we can just say that. Well, let's say you're trying to take it over, and the easiest thing would be to say, I've been there longer.
Okay.
So I have a lot more, like, pull to make things harder for you or to make you do things in the neighborhood. You know what I mean? Like,
Or we can say something like, we've made a deal that because again, I think we've established that I'm bad at this whole neighborhood taking over thing. So what if we've made a deal that I won't touch certain businesses of yours, but you owe me a favor, and I can call in that favor whenever I feel like it.
okay. Yeah, that works. That
Okay.
works. Okay, so favor. And that would be how my character works too, considering her
Which makes
personality.
sense, yeah.
Favor.
All right. I think I'm actually done now. So
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's
all right. And
We're
everybody else
terrible
got theirs,
people.
right? What was your fourth one, Wendy?
So devious lovers and controlling rival that I'm the need breaker for. So
Gotcha. Okay, gotcha.
yeah.
All right. All right, so then the next step is skills. And this is actually the easy step here because there's no card drawing for this one. So there are 10 skills total. They're build, convince, exert, fight, know, notice, occult, resist, sneak, and survive. And they range from 1 to 3. And that shows you basically how many cards you get to draw when you're using that skill. So if you only have one, that means you draw one card and you're kind of just stuck with whatever that one card is. But if you have 3, that means if that one card isn't good, you could pull a second. If you didn't like that one, you could pull a third. You don't have to pull 3, but you can pull up to 3. So if your first card's an ace, you don't have to keep drawing. But basically what you're going to do is you're going to choose one skill to put at rank 3. Then you're going to pick 2 skills to put at rank 2, and then all the others are rank 1. So I'm going to say my good skill will be... That's a hard one. I assume that Wendy's will be fight.
Yeah.
And my guess is that Danny's will be convince.
I'd actually already written it down.
That's kind of what I thought. I'm going to choose mine as notice. So that's mine. And then I'm going to pick resist and convince as my 2s. Do you pick 3 as 2 or 2 as 2? 2 at 2, rank 2. And all the others are 1. So there we are. That's kind of a painless step there.
Yeah.
It's really just trying to figure out what you want your main one to be. That's the main trick there.
So yeah, I got my convince at 3. I did knowledge at 2 and notice at 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I did notice at 3 and then convince and resist at 2. Nick?
I'm just kind of going through it real quick.
Okay.
I was gonna go with convince, but I think my 3 is gonna be fight.
Oh, okay.
And I think my 2 is gonna be no. And the rest. Do I get to pick 2 at 2?
Yeah, it's 2 at 2.
2 at 2. And I think my last one is going to be. I think my last one's going to be a cult.
Okay. It's good for somebody to know some of that, because I don't. What did you take, Wendy? You took fight at 3, and then what?
Exert and survive at 2.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. So then there's that. So now we get to debt. Okay, so everybody starts off with 1 debt. Actually, everybody starts off with 2 debt. I forgot about that. Everybody starts off with 2 debt. Sorry. So everybody starts off with 2, and no character can start with more than 5. And you can get more you can basically enhance your character by taking on more debt. So you can enhance a skill for 1 debt. You can raise a skill by +1. You can raise an attachment for 1 debt. You can raise an attachment by +1. Sinful gifts cost 2 debt for each one. And that's it. So there you go. Pretty simple stuff. So it's 1 for an attachment, 1 for a skill, or 2 for a sinful gift. So I'm looking at my envy gifts. I have copycat, I want that, and regifting. And what copycat does is it allows me to use the top card of somebody else's discard pile as my next card for a skill challenge. I want that allows me to make something that I see appear in my hand. And then regifting, what does that one do?
Copy a sinful gift.
I can copy a sinful gift that somebody else uses. So that's actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get 2 more. So I'm gonna start off with debt 4. And I'm going to get I want that. Because that just I like the teleportation thing. I like that. So that's what I'm doing. I don't think I'm gonna do anything else. I don't think I'm gonna raise any of my skills or anything. I'm just gonna do just the 1 sinful gift.
I actually think that I want to up my attachment.
Okay, which one? Because you ended up with 1 in passion and then 1 in, I think, influence, right?
Yeah, I think I'm going to do passion.
Okay. So that's only worth 1. Are you going to do anything else?
Do I want to have 5 debt?
So the bad thing about debt, just so everybody's clear about how debt works, when you get to debt 10, you're no longer a playable character because the person has complete control over you, and you are no longer yourself. So starting with 5 already kind of puts you half in the half in their pocket there.
No, I think I'm just gonna. I think I'm just gonna take the 1 attachment and passion, and then do some stuff for my Dark Lord, bring down my debt a little, and then get a simple gift at some point.
More stuff later. Yeah. So the cool thing is, well, I guess not the cool thing. So the section here on resisting the Dark Lord, and it's that basically if you try to do something that is against what the Dark Lord told you to do, you have to make a resist challenge, but you take a drop equal to your debt. So basically, if you have debt 5, then if you try to do something against what your Dark Lord wants you to do, then if you drew, let's say, a 7, it's actually a 2 now. So it's pretty. It's bad if you have a lot of debt. It means you really have very little control over what you do. If that Dark Lord wants you to do something, you kind of have to do it. So
I'm going to go with the pride gift, knowing better.
Okay.
And this will give me some options. I can discard 3 cards, make an cult challenge to gain information that would never have been able to acquire otherwise. So I like that. So again, real quick, a primary sin gift costs how much debt?
Let me check that again.
You're starting with 2.
It's 2 if it's your matching gift.
Okay.
It's 3 if it's one outside of your primary sin.
Okay, so it's matching. So I'm gonna stay with 2.
Right. So it only costs 2 because it's matching. Right.
Okay.
Yes, I actually really like. I like knowing better quite a bit. That's actually one of my favorite ones from Pride. I actually really like all of Pride. Every single one of Pride's is good. I like Face to Face personally because that's the one that's like you can discard the top of your top cards until you get either a face card or an ace. Like, you can ignore all the rest of the cards. You're just only going to get the best card.
It was tempting, but then that last line made me step back where it says, "Cannot stop until they come up with the right card." So I'm like,
exactly.
Oh, you could clear through the cards pretty quick.
You can actually, yes. That's kind of
that's what I was gonna say, because you don't want to do that too much, because if, like, let's say the jacket or whatever card you want is at the bottom, because then don't you have to go into debt to be able to reshuffle your cards or whatever?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Please, Dark Lord, don't kill me. Let me reshuffle my deck and give me more options, please.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of different ways for you to gain debt. But that is one of the main ones there, yes. Okay, so there's that. What about you, Wendy?
I think I'm going to go with Rage, which is one of the Wrath gifts.
Okay.
It'll let me spread my rage to someone else by discarding 2 cards and making a convince check. Now, those 2 cards, so they come off the top of the convince.
Yeah, they come out. Any discarding comes off of the top of your deck.
Okay, so it's not off of my convince check.
No, it's 2 cards and then a convince.
Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and buy the convince up by 1, so I'll start with a debt of 5.
There you go.
Oh, she's going for it.
Got to go all the way.
Yeah, actually, you know what? That's a good point there. I might need to move one of mine. You know what? I'm going to change my resist back to 1, and I'm going to make my sneak 2 because my power is a sneak-based power. So
yeah.
I happen to like my soul, what little left I have of it. So
all right. So
like
and
gods with a toy.
So that's everybody, right? Everybody got their debt, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. And so there are actually a lot of different ways to gain debt, and you can gain debt by failing to complete a mission. If you die, you have to ask for the Dark Lord to bring you back for 1 debt. If you can actually add your debt as a raise to a card for 1 debt. So for instance, if you had 5 debt, then you could be like, I want a +5 raise to this card. Thank you. And now I succeeded.
Wow.
But that costs you 1 debt. But it basically
6.
ensures success. You can also pray to your Dark Lord for some other in-game event to happen, taking 1 debt in return. Or you can shuffle your deck at any time by taking on 1 debt. So there's that. To remove debt, you can complete a mission, or the Soul Master can offer to take away debt for particularly terrible acts, or to entice the story in a certain direction. So there you go. So there's really only 2 ways to take debt away, but there's lots of ways to gain it, which is how these things work. All right, so now the last thing is for us to figure out who our Dark Lord is. Since there are 4 steps, I'm going to say each of us will do one of these 4 steps. Normally, I'm taking a role as just one of the players. Normally, there's a Soul Master involved. But we'll just say that each of us will do one of the steps. So there's what is the Dark Lord like? How does the Dark Lord communicate? What sacrifices does the Dark Lord ask for? And what is the proposed goal of the Dark Lord? So do you want to start us off? Who wants to start us off with what is the Dark Lord like?
Sure, I got it.
All right. So what is the Dark Lord like is actually done pretty similarly to the traits that we did earlier. You're going to, let's see.
Draw 2.
It says that you should pull. Oh, each player draws 1 card from their deck, and so if there are 4 players, each of us draws 1, and then we pick 2 of them.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
As a group, we pick 2 of them.
okay.
All right.
9
So,
5 clubs.
so we have 5 of
5.
clubs is 5 of clubs is tactless, which I like because that's like me. That's why we would get along. I have 7 of spades, which is secretive.
I have 5 of spades.
Which is nihilistic.
and 9 of diamonds.
And then 9 of diamonds, which is selfish. So in most cases, it would be the Soul Master who would then choose from these 4 cards. But right now, it will be Nick. So Nick, you get to pick which 2 do you want to describe our Dark Lord.
Okay.
So you have secretive, we have nihilistic, we have the other 2.
Let's see.
A selfish.
Selfish.
Selfish, nihilistic, secretive, and
tactless. And tactless.
let's do nihilistic and secretive.
Mm.
Okay, so it's nihilistic and secretive, and you just write this in the Dark Lord section. So nihilistic and secretive. So already, like, I can see us being sent on, like, missions to, like, I don't know, sow more chaos and bring the world closer to its destruction, but we don't know why we're being told to do these things. So I love it already. All right, so that's the first one. Let's see. How does the Dark Lord communicate? Who wants to do this one?
I'll take this one.
Okay.
All right, so we've got King of Hearts or King of Spades.
So they're both king. So they're both kings. So our Dark Lord delivers messages in person.
That seems like it's going to go really well for us.
All right. Well, that's interesting. So whoever our nihilistic, secretive Dark Lord is, they're not afraid to show themselves. So that's pretty interesting. All right. I'll do the what sacrifice do they ask for? I'll do this one. So let's see here. I have an ace and a joker.
Oh.
So they're both Soul Master's choice. So looking at some of the options here, there's contracts for more souls, human death of a particular type, human death general, human blood, animal sacrifice, memories, item of personal importance, money, expensive electronics, extended ritual prayer, jars of tears, and seemingly useless junk.
For mafiosos, maybe money.
Yeah,
that's what I was thinking.
Because our Dark Lord might not even be a magical thing; it might just be whoever the Dawn is. So I'm going to say that the sacrifice is money. I like it.
Right.
And like if you have like the bank teller, devious lover, or whatever, it kind of all fits, and the businesses and everything, it kind of all fits.
So, so that means Danny, you're doing the last one. What is the Dark Lord's ultimate goal?
Okay, so I picked 2. I got an 8 and a 2.
So accumulation, all of one thing, or unpredictable?
I think accumulate all money. I mean, since we're doing money, the ultimate goal is to have money, to like a hoard, like a dragon, kind of, just hoard money, hoard that, yeah.
Or if we're being mafiosos, maybe it's just accumulating all of the money in the city or something, like controlling the economy of the region we're taking over.
Okay.
Yeah, and especially if, like you suggested, this is in the 30s, so it's after the stock market crash, so everybody's poor, so we're just bleeding them dry.
I love it. Now, I think our Don would have to have some sort of magical power, because like I have straight up magic. So
Yeah.
So all we know is that he's very secretive, and he wants us to get lots of money. We don't know why. We just know that he wants us to accumulate lots and lots and lots of money. So who knows what he wants to do with it, but that's our job. I like it. I like it a lot. So then we just pick a name and an age, and then our characters are done then at that point. So my name's going to be Elliot. I like that name. And I'm going to be, let's say, 27. That's a good age for a mafia person who's not past their prime or anything, but they're not a new person either. So kind of in the middle there.
Yeah. Well, if you're 27, that makes me 28 because I'm firstborn.
Of course.
Right. And my name is Sid, and my nickname is the Vicious One. So I'm Sid.
Oh, there you go. So now I can actually write that in. Name Sid. Vicious One. And that's hostile family. All right.
Because mine's Pride. I'm going with a younger gangster. He's 23, already thinks he knows everything, and it thinks he belongs on top. And of course, he's going to be Marco.
Nice.
Yeah, it's actually perfect, because before anybody said anything, after Eloy went, I wrote down 30 for my character. So she's kind of older, which also kind of fits into that, we argue and stuff, and you think you know all this stuff, and my character's like, okay, you young person, just calm down. Like, just calm down. You don't know anything, So yeah, her name's Julia, by the way.
Okay.
Julia, and she's 30. So
You
she's
said
the oldest.
Julia. Yeah. Okay, got it.
Awesome.
All right. All right, so then we're done. And then we would start playing. If this was, a regular game, we would go ahead and start playing. Whoever the Soul Master is would be like, okay, now let's see what we're going to do here. But I like that a lot. I think we came up with a really fun characters here. And I think the fun thing about Sins of the Father is that it was very organic. Like, every step, as we got to know our characters more and how we related to each other, it all kind of spelled itself out. And, as soon as one person said, I think I work for the mob, I'm like, wait a minute, for the mob? I think that's our thing here. We did one game that we did. It was like we were all, our Dark Lord wanted sacrifices. So we were all working on, like, because a couple of ours, we had pride, and we all were kind of like fame hungry. So we were like, well, maybe we work on like set of like a really like action-oriented TV show and all of the accidental deaths that keep happening on.
Oh no!
But they're all purposeful. So like that was that game that we played, and that one was really fun. I was the cameraman. One person was the producer. It was just fun.
Oh man!
So that was a really fun one. But I do like the way, like, as soon as you know what it is, like, it just all kind of starts to really fall into place. So what did you guys think?
I thought it was good.
Are you guys excited to play this game?
Oh yeah.
We could actually play this.
I love the randomness with the drawing of the cards and checking the tables, and I liked how all the players making characters help really design like the setting and the direction. I really like that. That makes it much more. I think everyone's more invested than just the storyteller coming to the table and having a preset. This is what we're doing. I think that's really great.
Right.
Yeah.
Or making your characters separately and not knowing
Yes.
what your other people are doing and whatever. This is more like everybody kind of does it together, and so you kind of ensure that everything is going to at least, kind of be together in some kind of way. So it didn't take long either. So I mean, it was very quick
what was that, like
process.
an hour? Like that wasn't really, and that was with us. We, I had to check with the baby and do stuff too. So
Yeah.
Yeah, power for character creation and setting up the game. That's terrific, and all the characters know each other and have a connection. That's phenomenal.
And I think we're all super invested not only in our characters, but in those relationships and the setting, which, having that buy-in going straight into the game is so important. So just everyone's ideas bubbling up and all of that, I think is going to be awesome.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Well, very cool, guys. Well, thank you for coming and making characters. We may actually continue this because I think I like these characters. I would actually like to play this. But
I'd be down. I'd be down.
I'm not really sure because we don't have a soul master. Then I'll have to get somebody to come run the game for us now at this point. But I'm going to end the video here, though. So thank you, everybody who watched the video.
Bye. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.